Hello and welcome to Critical Thinking. The many dimensions of critical thinking include the following.
This is a very short introduction to critical thinking. My name is Professor Olubai. I'm going to mention a little bit to you about critical thinking. There are many dimensions and many levels of critical thinking, but the simplest level of critical thinking is where you ask questions and you demand evidence before you draw a conclusion or before you make a judgment. And the question then, of course, the question is what questions are there and what questions am I going to ask? And the formula for asking these questions is the 5 W's and 1 H, which many of you have heard of before. The 5 W's and 1 H. And the 5 W's, of course, are what, where, why, when, whom. And the 1 H is how. So it doesn't matter what the topic is. The topic could be the economy of China, global GDP, be COVID-19, be atomic structure, could be what is money, be African development, be the fight between China and the United States. Or the topic could be trade development, could be an animal that you've never heard of called the choo-choo. Or the question might be, what do pangolins have to do with COVID-19? How do you ask these questions? So I come up and say, we're going to talk about a choo-choo. Then I tell you a whole range of things about a choo-choo. Then I say to you, any questions? Now, if you're applying this formula, the 5 W's and 1 H, you just quickly say, excuse me, what is a choo-choo? Can you please tell us again? How are choo-choos related to mammals? Where are choo-choos found? When did people begin thinking about choo-choos, or when were choo-choos discovered? Or you could say, how do choo-choos live in the winter? Quickly generate questions by simply applying the 5 W's and 1 H. So the topic could be absolutely anything. For example, the topic could be something totally abstract like X. Like just say, let's talk about X. And you just say, okay, professor, what is X? Then I'll have to tell you what it is. Or you could say, how does X relate to Y? Or how does X relate to us? Or where do you find X? And of course, X can be absolutely anything. So this allows you to quickly ask a question about any topic. It also is the foundation of critical thinking. This is not the only dimension of critical thinking, but it's actually step 1 in critical thinking. And then quite interestingly, it's also related to what is called small talk, where we often wonder how to start a conversation with somebody else. Again, you just apply the 5 W's and 1 H. You meet that other person and you say, oh, how was your trip? How long did it take you to get here? Or hi Mary, where are you from? You're still using the 5 W's and 1 H. A very simple introduction to critical thinking and also an easy way to break into conversations. And again, in this micro introduction to critical thinking, please keep in mind that critical thinking is what we do when we suspend judgment, when we remain doubtful, demand the evidence by asking questions. And what are the simplest questions to ask? What, where, why, when, whom, how. We shall only make a judgment, or we shall only draw a conclusion after getting some evidence. That's my introduction to critical thinking. Thank you.